Hello and welcome to your extended. So, for this new moon in Sagittarius, this definitely looks to be like where you would be setting the intention. So, in the previous YouTube reading, it's as if that first portion was talking about the dark moon. So, the phase where there is no illumination to the moon. And so the new moon, which a lot of people perceive to be as that dark moon phase, the new moon is where you have a little tiny, like the most tiniest little slither of illumination, which would add to your intentions. It's because it's like at the new moon, that's when we set our intentions so that it can grow along with the new moon. So, what I'm seeing here is with this raven that's showing up, this is showing up as the one who would be delivering your intention to the construct, if you will, of the matrix to, okay, this is what you want to create, especially with the magician that's coming up alongside it. It's like, this is what you want to manifest. You want this creation to start its birth at the new moon in Sagittarius. And this raven here is actually going to be the one that is delivering the message of what your intentions are to the matrix itself, so that it can start the process and working on your manifestation. So that's very interesting because it's kind of telling us that the matrix, or how we were initially coming into a new philosophical idea of what the matrix is and how it plays a role in how we shape our environment and also manifest the things that we want. And so what this is referring to is that it's actually as if the matrix is of service to us. So, there's a lot of people who want to escape the matrix. And this is kind of saying that, this matrix here is of service to us. And depending on how we, as a collective and also individually, invest, especially because we have this Seven of Pentacles that's coming up shortly, depending on how we invest in that creation is going to determine how we experience the matrix around us. So what I'm seeing here for this new moon in Sagittarius is that this energy of the raven is actually one that might be a little bit hard to obtain. It's because it's looking to me like there are many of us out there that are going to be setting intentions with this magician energy, wanting to manifest something to come into fruition. And it's like this raven here is going to be hard to catch. It's coming through as like it's going to be hard to catch the energy of the one who is going to be delivering the message of your intentions to the matrix. So what I'm seeing here is that you actually have to be exceptionally quiet in this. You don't want to make a sound about what you are intending, because I don't know, it's as if that's actually going to scare away the messenger, the one who's delivering this message. It's like it's going to cause this raven to take flight. And if it takes flight, it's almost as if it's happening either prematurely, or when it takes flight, it doesn't contain the intention that you're wanting to set within it. So it's like, instead of, there's a real emphasis on here that instead of like speaking aloud your intention, to maybe actually take upon this artist role and either write down what you want to observe or actually even kind of draw a picture. Draw a picture of what you want to experience. Maybe it is actually like this Six of Wands here. Like drawing a picture, it's coming through as like vision boarding, like collecting images and visions of what you want to manifest, your intention, and like create something that is artistic. It's very interesting because I wouldn't usually see the Sagittarian energy as something that is artistic. It's like you would think that the Sagittarian energy would be one that where you're like moving very fast, coming into the space really like quickly. And it's like it's actually almost in a sense like act, it's so fascinating. It's like almost in a sense act opposite to the to the typical Sagittarian energy and creep up on this raven very quietly and slowly and with diligence. That's what this is referring to. And it's like only then will you be able to get close enough. And then it's like once you get close enough, that's when you're going to tap into that Sagittarian energy. And like it's like you're snatching this raven up. So it's very interesting. It's like you want to move very quietly and slowly with diligence. It's like even previously before this, whatever you're writing out, don't necessarily speak it aloud because this raven here is going to be the one that's delivering that message. So it's like write it on a parchment paper, write it on a piece of paper. You know, maybe draw an image of what you're wanting to manifest, and bear in mind that like it's like roll it up, and because what I'm seeing is you rolling up this piece of paper and then tying like twine or ribbon or something around it. And like that is what you're going to attach to the raven. That's so fascinating. So it's like whatever that is, when you finally catch this raven, it's like that little piece is going to deliver the intention. So with us moving into the Seven of Pentacles, you know, all of this is happening after the intention setting. So with the Seven of Pentacles that's showing up here, what this is referring to is kind of sitting back and waiting, being incredibly patient, and watching this manifestation grow. So what that's referring to is that, you know, to really tap into that Sagittarian energy of patience, you know, of temperance, of making sure that you're really taking care of the cultivation of this manifestation. So whatever that may entail you returning back to the manifestation and maybe adding like water or nutrients or whatever that means for you. It's like it needs to be cultivated and cared after. And it's only then after patience and a lot of diligent care that you will see it growing. It's like if you're going to be setting intention during this moon in particular, it's like you've got to have an energy of like calmness. There's an energy of calm that is wanting to come over this entire reading, because it's only in that space that you're going to be able to actually put that intention into forward motion. So And even if you do see this intention starting to like, it's starting to gain a little bit of momentum, it's gaining a little bit of speed, there's a requirement that you're going to have to be very patient. So this is kind of like, it's kind of talking about it being a slow burn. This is not something that is going to manifest instantaneously. It's going to be a very slow burn. But the very interesting part about it is that it's followed up by this Eight of Wands, which is sudden movement. So it's as if the amount of energy that you've applied into this being very patient, really cultivating this intention, it's like all of that you have put into it, it's suddenly going to transition into forward momentum, and it's going to be very fast. It's as if this, like, I'm seeing this horse actually like suddenly coming into a gallop, suddenly running. It's like, whereas before you were in a space of the Six of Wands, you know, maybe perhaps having a little bit of success, definitely receiving a lot of recognition. Also, you know, you have the spirit of a previous energy that is helping to support you and act as your banner, if you will. So it's kind of giving me, like, if you were to start, let's just say like you're starting a business or something like that, it's like you've named this business after this one, or after the one, and it's like you're flying that banner. So what this is referring to is that you're starting off at a very, it's a slower speed. It's definitely a slower speed. But what I'm seeing here is, like, if you were to take this horse and put it over top of, you see, so like, look at this transition here. It's almost referring to like a hurdle. There's going to be a little bit of a hurdle in getting this intention off the ground. And that hurdle seems to be this, it's like the snatching of this raven. I hope that is making sense. It's like, in order to come over this hurdle, it's like you have to, in some way, shape, or form, almost hide behind a little barrier and then suddenly pop out. It's like suddenly pop through, kind of like that 12/12 portal. That's fascinating. So, you know, it's like this portal, in a sense, it's like you're not, that's what this is. It's like you're not necessarily going to be seeing it coming. It's going to like suddenly be upon you, and then that's when you need to make the decision as to what direction you're going in, because the direction that you'll be going in will determine, almost like, okay, because what I'm seeing is that you as the artist are here and on that, in that crossroads, right? And these two flaking cards are representing the two different ways that you could be going through this portal. Or actually, this one is coming up as not going through the portal. The Nine of Wands here is showing up as like actually not going through the portal, having a lot of boundaries and a lot of resistance is being presented here in this Nine of Wands. So at this crossroads, when this comes up upon you, it's like you're going to be given an opportunity as to whether or not you want to go through this portal. And the portal seems to be representing a shift in the conceptualization of the matrix and of how it works for you. So, you know, you can view the matrix as like a cage that prevents your forward progress, or you can in a way like view it as something that is a cooperative element between you and the matrix, and basically using it as an interface to be able to manifest what you desire. And so that's what this looks like here as that Six of Wands. That's where you're going to be receiving a lot of the success and recognition and victory, and you know, the spotlight being on you and of all of your accomplishments, is because it's like you're learning how to work the energy to your advantage instead of residing in a space of like negativity, residing in a space of this is just not working for me. That's what this is referring to, this Nine of Wands. And so it's like you're not seeing it coming, but suddenly it's going to be an opportunity that will be arriving at your door. And the best way to gain access to this is by being in a very calm and still energy. Just being very chill and relaxed. Maybe not even necessarily speaking a lot, just kind of having a tempered out emotional resonance where there is a complete, it's like silence. It's coming through as like a moment of silence, giving yourself a moment of silence, not even necessarily thinking about where you're going, but it's more almost referring to think about where you came from. Like this moment of you looking up at the stars, the last time that you looked up at the stars is, it's like think about that previous time and think about how all of the moments that you had before with this one who seems to be in spirit with you, it could even be another aspect of you, is supporting you in your endeavors, and how they have acted in such a way to actually support you and bring you balance. And it's like residing in that space there, and also perhaps maybe even writing out your intention or drawing a picture or vision boarding what you're wanting to see come to fruition. Like what do you want? What type of fruit do you want this tree to bear? That's really what's coming up here. And it's like only then will you actually be able to catch this raven, because it's actually this raven who is going to send your message forward. It's like you need to catch the raven in order to attach your intention to his little foot, and then he flies off. And so when you finally do attach your attention to that raven, it's like there, and there it goes with that Sagittarian energy of, I mean, it's very speedy. It's very speedy, and it's moving incredibly fast. This is an incredibly fast movement. And to me, it's looking like you're going from 0 to 60. So it's interesting. It's like, think also about the things that you are manifesting too. It's like, think about how to utilize the energy to its greatest strength with the strength card that's coming up next. It's like, think about things that relate to the Sagittarian energy, like your intentions. So for instance, if you do have a manifestation that is kind of just slow rolling, you know, it's really a slow burner. You've had a lot of patience with it. You've been caring and tending to it incredibly well. You know, It's at the Seven of Pentacles. It's at the point where you don't know whether or not to keep investing in it or if you should actually scrap it, because it's not necessarily showing you the fruit, right? The fruit of your labor. It's like this new moon here is the perfect time to set the intention to speed up your manifestations. It's like that's the strength of this new moon's intention setting space, is that it's going to add strength to the speed. It's like it's going to it's like the muscles and the manifestation's legs excuse me, are going to be speeding forward. Very interesting. Don't speak about it. That's what this is referring to. It's like, don't speak about it. Write it out. Draw a picture. Don't speak it. Because there's something about it here that it needs to be done in silence. It's kind of like an idea of moving in silence. And that's actually what's going to speed up this manifestation. Very interesting. So I was not expecting that. I've got like a little tear here. So enjoy this new moon in Sagittarius, and I shall see you next time. Have a wonderful night.